Shalom and welcome back. Today is the 5th day of March 2024, so we're going to read in Proverbs chapter 5, follow with further reading of Daniel. So let's turn in your Bibles and to Proverbs chapter 5, verse 1. My son, listen to my wisdom, incline your ear to my insight, that you may have foresight while your lips hold fast to knowledge. For the lips of the forbidden woman drip honey, her mouth is smoother than oil, but in the end she is as bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. 5. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold of Sheol. She does not chart a path of life, her course meanders for lack of knowledge. She knows. So know, son, pay heed to me, and do not swerve from the words of my mouth. Keep yourself far away from her. Do not come near the door of her house, lest you give up your vigor to others, your years to a ruthless one. 10. Let strangers eat their fill of your strength, and your toil be for the house of another. And in the end you roar when your flesh and body are consumed, and say, oh, how I hated discipline and hardly spurned rebuke. I did not pay heed to my teachers or incline my ear to my instructors. Soon I was in dire trouble amidst an embezzled congregation. 15. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Your spring will gush forth in streams in the public square. They will be yours alone, others having no part with you. Let your fountain be blessed. Find joy in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful mountain goat. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. Be infatuated with love of her always. 20. Why be infatuated, my son, with a forbidden woman? Why grasp the bosom of an alien woman? For a man's ways are before the eyes of Yah. He surveys his entire course. The wicked man will be trapped by his iniquities. He will be caught up in the ropes of his sin. He will die for lack of discipline, infatuated by his great folly. Let's turn to Daniel chapter 10. Daniel chapter 10, verse 1. In the year of King Cyrus of Persia, an oracle was revealed to Daniel, who was called Belshazzar. That oracle was true, but it was a great task to understand the prophecy. Understanding came to him through the vision. At the time Daniel, kept 3 full weeks of mourning. I ate no tasty food, nor did any meat or wine enter my mouth. I did not anoint myself until the 3 weeks were over. It was on the 24th day of the first month, when I was on the bank of the great river, the Tigris. 5. That I looked and saw a man dressed in linen, his loins girt with fine gold. His body was like pearl, his face had the appearance of lightning, his eyes were like flaming torches, his arms and legs had the color of burnished bronze. and the sound of his speech was like the noise of a multitude. I, Daniel, alone saw the vision. The men who were with me did not see the vision, yet they were seized with the great terror and fled into hiding. So I was left alone to see the great vision. I was drained of strength, my vigor was destroyed, and I could not summon up strength. I heard him speaking, and when I heard him speaking, overcome by a deep sleep, I lay prostrate on the ground. Then the hand touched me and shook me onto my hands and knees. He said to me, "O Daniel, precious man, mark what I say to you and stand up, for I have been sent to you." After he said this to me, I stood up trembling. "Hear then," he said to me, "have no fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your mind to get understanding, practicing abstinence before your God, your prayer was heard, and I have come because of your prayer. However, the prince of the Persian kingdom opposed me for 21 days. Now Michael, a prince of the first rank, has come to my aid after I was detained there with the king of Persia. So I have come to make you understand what is to befall your people in the days to come, for there is yet a vision for those days." 15. While he was saying these things to me, I looked down and kept silent. Then one who looked like a man touched my lips, and I opened my mouth and spoke, saying to him who stood before me, "My Lord, because of the vision I have been seized with pangs and cannot summon strength. How can thy servant of my Lord speak with my Lord, seeing that my strength has failed and no spirit is left in me?" He who looked like a man touched me again and strengthened me. He said, "Have no fear, precious man. All will be well with you. Be strong, be strong." As he spoke with me, I was strengthened and said, "Speak on, my Lord, for you have strengthened me." 20. Then he said, "Do you know why I have come to you? Now I must go back to fight the prince of Persia. When I go off, the prince of Greece will come in. No one is helping me against him except your prince, Michael. However, I will tell you what is recorded in the book of truth." 11. Verse 1. In the first day of Darius the Mede, I took my stand and strengthened and fortified him. And now I tell you the truth. Persia will have 3 more kings, and the 4th king will be the wealthier than them all. By the power he obtains through his wealth, he will stir everyone up against the kingdom of Greece. Then a warrior king will appear who will have an extensive dominion and do as he pleases. But after his appearance, his kingdom will be broken up and scattered to the 4 winds of heaven, but not for any of his posterity, nor with dominion like that which he had, for his kingdom will be uprooted and belong to others beside these. 5. The king of the south will grow powerful, however. One of his officers will overpower him and rule, having an extensive domain. After some years, an alliance will be made, and the daughter of the king of the south will come to the king of the north to effect the agreement. But she will not maintain her strength, nor will his strength endure. She will be surrendered together with those who escorted her and the one who begot her and helped her during those times. A shoot from her stock will appear in his place. Will come again the army and enter the fortress of the king of the north. He will fight and overpower them. He will also take other gods with the molten images and the precious vessel of silver and gold back to Egypt as booty. For some years he will leave the kingdom of the north alone, who will later invade the realm of the king of the south, but will go to his land. 10. His son will wage war, challenging a multitude of great armies. He will advance and sweep through as a flood, and will again wage war as far as his stronghold. Then the king of the south, in a rage, will go out to do battle with him. For the king of the north, he will muster a great multitude. With multitude will be delivered unto his foe's power. But when the multitude is carried off, he will grow arrogant. He will cause myriads to perish, but still not prevail. Then the king of the north will again muster a multitude of greater than the first. After a time, a matter of years, he will advance with a great army and much baggage. In those times, many will resist the king of the south, and the lawless sons of your people will assert themselves to confirm their vision, but they will fail. 15. The king of the north will advance and throw up siege ramps and capture a fortress city, and the fortress of the south will not hold out. Even the elite of his army will be powerless to resist. His opponent will do as he pleases, for none will hold out against him. He will install himself in the beautiful land with destruction within his reach. He will set his mind upon invading the stronghold throughout his foe's kingdom. But in order to destroy it, he will effect an agreement with him and give him a daughter in marriage. He will not succeed at all, and it will not come about. He will turn to the coastland and capture many, but a council will put on end to his insults. They pay him back for his insults. He will head back for the strongholds of his own land, but will stumble and fall and vanish. 20. His place will be taken by one who will dispatch an officer to exact tribute for royal glory, but he will be broken in a few days, not by wrath or by war. His place will be taken by a contemptible man on whom royal majesty was not conferred. He will come in unaware and seize the kingdom through trickery. The force of the flood will be overwhelmed by him and will be broken, and so too the covenant leader. And from the time an alliance is made with him, he will practice deceit, and he will rise to power with a small band. He will invade the riches of provinces unawares, and will do what his father and forefathers never did, lavishing on them spoil, booty, and wealth. He will have designs upon strongholds, but only for a time. 25. He will muster his strength and courage against the king of the north. 25. He will muster his strength and courage against the king of the south with a great army. The king of the south will wage war with a very great and powerful army, but will not stand fast, for they will devise plans against him. Those who eat of his food will ruin him. His army will be overwhelmed, and many will fall slain. The minds of both kings will be bent on evil. While sitting at the table together, they will lie to each other, but to no avail, for there is yet an appointed term. He will return to his land with great wealth. His mind is set against the holy covenant. Having done his pleasure, he will return to his land. At his appointed time, he will again invade the south, but the second time will not be like the first. Ships from Ketuvim will come against him. He will be checked and will turn back, raging against the holy covenant. Having done his pleasure, he will then abandon those who forsake the holy covenant. For forces will be lively by him. Then they will desecrate the temple, the fortress. They will abolish the regular offerings and set up an appalling abomination. He will flatter with smooth words those who act wickedly toward the covenant, but the people devoted to their God will stand firm. The knowledgeable among the people will make the many understand, and for a while they shall fall by the sword and flame, suffer captivity and spoliation. In defeat they will receive a little help, and many will join them insincerely. 35. Some of the knowledgeable will fall, that they may be refined and purged, and whitened until the time of the end. For an interval still remains until the appointed time. The kings will do the king will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every God, and will speak awful things against the God of gods. He will prosper until wrath is spent, and what has been decreed is accomplished. He will not leave regard for the God of his ancestors, or for the one dear to women. He will not leave regard for any God. He will magnify himself above all. He will honor the God of fortresses on his stand. He will honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly things, a God that his ancestors never knew. He will deal with the fortified strongholds with the help of an alien God. He will heap honor on those who acknowledge him and will make them master over many. He will distribute land for a price. 40. At the time of the end, the king of the south will look home. 40. At the times of the end, the king of the south will lock horns with him, but the king of the north will attack him with chariots and riders and many ships. He will invade lands, sweeping through them like a flood. He will invade the beautiful land, too, and many will fall, but those will escape his clusters, Edom, Moab, and the chief part of the Amorites. He will lay his hand on lands, not even the lands of Egypt will escape. He will gain control over treasures of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt, and the Libyans and the Cushites will follow at his heel. But reports from the east and north will alarm him, and he will march forth in a great fury to destroy and annihilate many. 45. He will pitch his royal pavilion between the sea and the beautiful holy mountain. He will meet his doom with no one to help him. Thus we conclude the reading of Proverbs chapter 5 and the reading of Daniel's. May God shine his light onto your path and lead you into righteousness and give you shalom. Amen. Shalom until tomorrow. Shalom.